Good morning and welcome to the 10 a.m. daily weather brief. Looking at our upper level wind chart here from this morning, we had a freezing level of 13,800 feet with the winds closer to the surface coming out of the northeast at around 10 knots. And if we progressively move up through the column, we can see that the winds were remaining rather light between 7 to 15 knots, and they slowly veered to a more west-northwesterly direction before maxing out at 25,000 feet with a speed of 24 knots. Now, moving on to the most recent surface analysis chart here, we do have that stationary frontal boundary south of our area, which is continuing to drop some rain and bring some storms to the northeastern North Carolina and Virginia Beach area, while regions north, including our own, are experiencing overall cloudy conditions and cooler temperatures, with those temperatures sitting a good bit below our climatological average for this time of the year. Tuesday, it looks like we'll have a slight chance for some other unsettled weather, given the potential for storms to fire off with all that moisture in the area and a temporarily stagnant setup overall, particularly farther west where that instability is supposed to be greatest. There's the chance that those storms fire off, and then if they can cross the bay, make their way into our neck of the woods. So certainly possible, but that has yet to see how that will play out. By Wednesday, an upper-level ridge will bring hotter and drier conditions with temperatures reaching the low 90s and heat indices potentially breaking that 100-degree threshold. And Thursday will remain hot with scattered showers and storms possible as a cold front moves through our area, followed by slightly cooler conditions behind that cold front before we see some heat build into early next week, associated with a region of high pressure that is expected to make its way over to the East Coast. Now, moving on to our 24-hour risk chart. Remaining largely unchanged from this morning, cloudy conditions are expected throughout the day with highs in the low 70s. Those ceilings are expected to remain rather low, with ceilings right now at about 300 feet and visibility around 3 miles. They are expected to increase just slightly, a couple hundred feet as indicated here on the TAF, but that ultimately they do kind of fall back and settle back down once our temperatures start cooling off come later this afternoon into the overnight hours. And winds remain rather light in the 5 to 10, 7 to 12 knot threshold. Moving on to the short-term weather risk board here, I did add a yellow tick for Tuesday in conjunction with the orange mark on the ceiling box there. We're expecting cloudy conditions with that low-level cloud cover early and the chance of potentially some pop-up showers or thunderstorms and a high of 77. Tuesday night, partly to mostly cloudy and a low of 72, and Wednesday, partly to mostly cloudy with a chance of a shower or thunderstorm and a high of 90 with yellows on precip, lightning, and winds, as some of the models were showing some slightly elevated wind gusts. And looking at our 7-day forecast here, Tuesday and Wednesday, those potential for those storms popping up to exist before moving on to a hot Thursday and Friday, in which storms are looking to be likely as a front works its way through the area, followed by that brief cool down mentioned earlier behind that front, and then high pressure builds in and the temperatures begin to increase moving into next week. And that will conclude the 7-day outlook, and I'll be back tomorrow at 8:15 with the daily weather brief.